Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Ferrante here. I'm going to do a quick tutorial on listing input. I'm going to show you a couple shortcuts and show you how important it is to fill in all of the fields because many of these fields, all of them really, are searchable. So here's what we're going to do. Hopefully your MLS looks similar to mine, but we start with input. So wherever you find input on yours, you click what you want to input, you can edit, or you can add a new listing. Today we're going to add a new listing, and this one happens to be residential. So you can choose whatever type your MLS offers, and we're going to add a new listing. Now keep in mind you can start with a blank listing, or you can search your county and by parcel number. And of course, I have all this information pulled up ahead of time. This is a property in Strongsville. You can scroll down on the county information, copy and paste your parcel number, and you can put it in here and you can search and it'll pull up the data. Now, keep in mind, if you do parcel number, some information might not be accurate. So it might pull up Cleveland or Akron or Columbus instead of the actual city. We have a listing right now in Mayfield Heights. And if we had just copied and pasted it using this method, it comes up as Cleveland and it's actually Mayfield Heights. Think of how that messes up the searches for potential buyers. They're searching Mayfield Heights and your property is listed as Cleveland. So please don't make that mistake. As with all of these methods, double check every single field to make sure that you have your listing input correct because that affects how your listing shows up, who's able to find it, and it could definitely harm the seller if you do it incorrectly. Now, what I'm actually going to do here, instead of doing it by the parcel number, I'm going to fill this from an old listing because we had this property listed. So I'm gonna choose instead of filling from Realist or the tax records, I'm gonna copy from an existing listing. Now keep in mind, I'm not advocating plagiarism here. What I'm advocating is taking a listing that already has a bunch of data in it, whether it's yours or someone else's, and you can edit it, use your own photos, your own write-ups, and your own descriptions, and make sure everything is right. So I'm going to copy this from our old listing and it'll input a bunch of the data for me. So I'm going to fill from an existing listing. So I paste the listing, fill from, and you can see it's going to populate a bunch of stuff for me. The zip +4, I always like putting this in because every field is searchable. And I happen to know this one is 6161. Where did I find that? You just go to the county records and it's tax billing zip +4. So it's the zip code +4. This is a vacant lot with a to-be-built home, so that will explain a couple things. Now, this address, it may or may not find it. You should always check your pin placement. Right now, there's no pin placement. That means when someone clicks on the address on the listing, how many of you have ever seen this where you click on an address to see where it is, and if it's a vacant lot, the pin ends up right in the middle of the road? Like it'll be here in the middle of the road. Well, back in the day, I did put this in the right place and the pin is in the right place. So we're just going to double check that. Let's try getting it from the address. Okay, now I'm having some kind of glitch. I cannot see the map, so let's double check. I'm going to set latitude, longitude manually. And you can zoom in and see, yes, that's the right place. I'm going to slide this pin just to show you how that works, put it more in the middle of the lot, and I'm going to say done. And now my pin is placed. I'm double checking every single field here. You can start typing and it'll bring up the area that you want, which here, this one's Strongsville. Ours has an NAR requirement. Yes, I have no offers of compensation listed. Under agent, I'm doing the input, so it has me. I'm going to have my teammate on this listing with me. Just start typing a name, and our MLS pulls it up, and we're going to say no to waived agent. By the way, pro tip, save as incomplete frequently. There's nothing worse than stepping away from your computer for a couple minutes, coming back and finding out that your link expired and you've lost all of your work. Save as incomplete frequently. Now I'm going to go in and start typing in the contract information. I don't like putting the owner's name here. You can find that on public records. This is a couple fields that I do not suggest you fill in necessarily. This is not an owner agent. It's vacant land. Our list price for this to-be-built home is $375,000, and our contract date, the list date was yesterday. Now, by the way, you should also have your paperwork pulled up. Here was mine, and it was indeed signed on the 15th. I have my exclusive right to sell all ready to go so that I can pull any information off of it that I need. That'll be ready to go in case I need it. Let's go back to the input screen. This one we have only going for 3 months. So we have it expiring at the end of the month. I like having all our listings expire at the end of any month because it's easier to track. At the end of each month, you can say, all right, which listings do we have that are expiring? There's different listing agreements. We almost always use exclusive right to sell, and it's full service. You can do whatever your policy is. This is not court ordered. There's no online bidding, and our MLS doesn't let you put email addresses in the remarks, so we have to put our offer link up here. If you were doing an auction or something else, you could fill this information in appropriately. We're going to select principal non-resident. That's the most applicable field here. You just go through each field and fill it in appropriately. This one here, it's a new construction. I don't know when it'll be done, so possession's negotiable. Under ours, we have listing terms, and we're going to select all of the types of financing that the owner would consider. Again, these are searchable fields, so if you don't fill these out, you could potentially be missing potential buyers and agents who are setting up searches for their buyers. So you look through these and select any that seem applicable. There is a builder warranty. This is also yes if you have a home warranty. Under here, is the seller open to concessions? Now, this is not commission. It's different. Are they open to concessions? A lot of people are putting negotiable, but if they definitely are offering something, you could click yes or no. But I like putting negotiable here. Always check your taxes. Under this field, legal tax, you want to go into the county record, scroll down and see what the actual taxes are. We've only been updated to 2024 and it's $676. Now, I'll make a note because with a new house, the taxes will be more, and you have to say what year it's for. There were no assessments and there's no homestead here. I already double checked that. Now we'll make a note that obviously with a new home, the taxes are going to be a lot higher. They will be TBD. There's no association here. There's no maintenance fee. And there's no land lease. Notice how some of these are already filled in for me. Notice I'm not having to do all of these fields. I'm going to save as incomplete again just to make sure I don't lose my work, because that would be embarrassing in this video. Now, this did not populate all the room info. Okay, now this takes a while, so I'm only going to show you one room. And this home that is going to be built, it's going to be the same as this home. So I've got our old listing here pulled up so that I can pull the information. So what I'm going to do is just kind of fill in these required fields and show you how to do it so that you can figure it out later. We know that on this house, we had a total number of rooms of 7, and this was shown as a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So that's how I'm going to do my input. 7 rooms. Notice in yellow, those are required fields, but again, don't just ignore the ones that are in white because it is helpful. There's no basement on this house, so there's 0 baths on the lower level, 2 on the main, 0 on the upstairs. We do have a loft in this home, so I'll show you how I handle that in a second. I'm actually going to list this as a 4-bedroom because the loft could be the 4th bedroom. There's no half baths, no half baths anywhere. There's 3 bedrooms on the main. There's 1 laundry. 0 on the lower level, 1 on the main, none upstairs. So I just know this information. You can go through it much more slowly if you need to. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put in 1 room just to show you how it's done. I'm going to call it the great room. We have a big wide open area. I'll show you real quick what that kind of looks like. Or maybe I won't. There it is right there. So we have a rendering of this big great room area. I do have some actual photos, and I'll show you how to put photos in as well. The great room is on the 1st level. I would put in the dimensions, and let's pull it here from the old, I called it a living room here. This was 14 by 13 with vaulted ceilings. By the way, I always like to put the bigger number first because you want to lead with your best features. And then you kind of scroll through. Again, all of these are searchable. So what I recommend is really going through these and see what applies. So I'm going to find vaulted ceilings right away. and see what else would apply. The counters and kitchen, that's in the next area over. There's no tubs. It does have high ceilings. There's no fireplace, but these are all the features you would look through to make sure you get everything that applies for your features. We're doing vinyl plank flooring. That's vinyl LVT, luxury vinyl. And then here you can put in your little description. Uh, Vaulted ceiling, great room. Okay, and then you would add more rooms here. I'm not going to do that for now. Just you can go through, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have our listing coordinator add all the rooms that are in this house. I'm going to give her instructions to say, go to our old listing and add all this information for me so that I don't have to. Okay, let's save as incomplete again. That's probably the best tip I could give you. Do that frequently. And it takes you right back to where you left off. Now I'm going to go features. This is a single family home. It is not attached. Some of you are probably saying, Mike, why bother with these fields? Let's see, for new construction, you put 9999. And then you must set it as to be built. And this will be, we'll say other. Year built source is going to be other because it just depends. We don't know exactly what the year built is going to be. Property is not attached. We're going to put 1.5 stories because it has that little loft. Oh, actually, this field here, you have to put 2. 1.5 goes elsewhere. There's no basement, no fireplace, 0 for fireplace. We know from the old listing, this one actually turned out to be 1770, and there's 0 below grade. The source of the info you have to put, this is from the owner, because that comes from the plans. The other fields you could pick is the if you're an appraiser or public records, realist, if you're using realist. There's no carport. There's 2 garage spaces. Yes, there's a garage, and yes, it's attached. That is a feature down here. This house faces north. Again, some people search by the direction a house faces. So you're like, why would you put that in? Because some people can search by it. There's no pool. It is waterfront. We have a creek here. Note that the lot dimensions were already filled in for me. I'm even going to fill in these non-required spaces just because I know the lot is 80 foot of frontage and 125 deep. Let's double check that. I'll show you how to do that. So if you click on the address in our MLS and probably yours, you can find the parcel, click on it, and click lot dimensions, and there it is. So it's actually 215 and 227 on this side. So lucky I double checked that. So this is actually 215, 225. 225, we'll use the bigger number. It didn't seem right. That's why I double checked it. 0.4 acres, we can double check that as well. $17,799 square feet. And there it is, 0.41 acres is how we had it listed. Keep in mind you can round these numbers. Okay, this house is going to be a ranch with a loft, so I'm going to list it as both a ranch and a Cape Cod. I know that can be confusing, but it truly is a ranch. It has true first floor living, and the fact that it has a loft sort of makes it a Cape Cod. Now I fall into both searches. It's going to be built. You can choose all these different criteria here. There's no basement. It's a slab. I'm going to select both 1 and 1.5 because some people search for one family, one floor homes, and it also truly could be 1.5. So I'm going to check both so that I fall into both categories. It's going to be gas forced air with central air, and it will include appliances. We're going to have a dishwasher and we will have a microwave. But we're not going to include washer, dryer, refrigerator, stove. Those won't be included. Those will be negotiable. Again, you go through each of these fields and make sure that you select everything that applies. I'm just going to scroll through these real quick. It does have an eat-in kitchen, no elevator. It's going to have granite counters, high ceilings. It's going to have a kitchen island. It does have an open floor plan. It's going to have recessed lighting. And it does have vaulted ceilings. Again, these are all searchable fields, so why would I take the time to do it? Because they're searchable. Fireplace is none. Windows will be vinyl. You get the gist here. So I'm going to keep going here. It does have a laundry room and it's on the first floor or main floor. There it is, main level laundry. There's really no accessibility features. There's a front porch and a rear patio. So there's a porch and a patio. There's a water view, stream. We have a little creek. Let's see if creek is here. There it is, Stream Creek. Parking features, we have an attached garage and a driveway for parking. Construction materials are going to be vinyl siding, primarily. And the roof, we're going to be doing a metal roof on this one. Note that public water and public sewer are already checked because I'm copying from our old listing. There's no fence, and we're going to have a concrete foundation and a slab. That applies too. I was recording a video. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, let's keep going here. No other structures, no pool. And then I like to fill in the community features here. So we do have, oh, I already did it from the last listing. The one I have to add because they've added some. So I've got medical in the area, park, playground, restaurant, shopping, mall. Let's save as incomplete. We go back to editing. Green energy. This isn't going to have any particular certifications, so I'm just going to skip this. Notice there's nothing highlighted, so there's no required fields here. I'm going to skip remarks and come back to that and go to showing instructions. This is going to be contact agent because there's really no need to employ the showing service. So I'm just going to say notify agent and walk lot with caution. It's just a vacant lot. And I'm going to say the listing agent. Now, if you're using a showing service, I do highly recommend that. You can use the link, the showing time link, for example. There's no cost to that typically, and it's an easy way for agents to schedule their showings. There's no electronic lockbox. It's vacant land, so I like to check the vacant box, and most of these are pre-populated. So you just want to double check these to make sure this is indeed what you want. I don't like having the third party valuations there, just because especially here it doesn't apply because they're not going to know, the third party valuators aren't going to know what the new construction home could be worth. Now these take some work. So I am just going to show you the required field first, and this is between, let me double check. I believe it's between Howe and Pearl Road. There it is, Howe and Pearl. So give some decent instructions. Don't say use Google Maps. That's just lazy. Between Howe and Pearl, south side of the street. How's that? Now here's where you tell people how to get in touch with you. I'm going to say offers to email above, and then I'll put any other broker remarks in here that are necessary. Like, for example, this one, it has a creek and there was some flood zone issues, but that has been remediated. So I'll make a little note here. Anything else you want agents to see? Now, public remarks, this is where you really need to put some thought into it. I'm not going to show you on this video how to do it, but we are using ChatGPT to write our public remarks, at least, and then we edit them. And also, you should be telling ChatGPT or using a custom GPT, someone that's already made one for you that helps you write the remarks for your listings to optimize both for SEO and GEO. That means Google searches, and also if someone's going into chat and saying, hey, find me new construction in Strongsville, does your listing come up if they do that? So that's what we do. I'm going to save this as incomplete again and come back and write those remarks later. Same thing if you have a listing that you're ready to make active. What you do then is you add your supplements, like if you have a residential property disclosure, lead paint, your flood map, like I'm going to have here, and then this is where I add photos. So I go in here, I browse my photos, I'll grab the photos that I want, upload them, and then I can even add descriptions if I want, or I can ask our system to auto generate descriptions based on AI looking at it and saying, oh, that's the front of the house. But it's a good idea to go in and edit those. So I'm going to cancel my input of the photos for the moment. Actually, I'll show you how to do one. I'm going to put one photo in here, and I'm going to grab the photo of the house that we built. So you just go into your photos and grab whatever you want. This is probably the best photo I have. Front of structure, and I'll just type new construction. I did not check the box to auto generate. I'm going to certify and save that I own this photo. And again, I've not made this active yet, so it's still incoming. Save as incomplete, and I'll show you where it shows as incoming. Incomplete listings, there it is right there. I actually started this and then got rid of it. So I'm going to delete, I'll show you how to delete the one that I started. So I'll make sure I got the right one. So this is the one that I don't want. I'm going to edit this and I'm going to get rid of it. Delete incomplete listing. I have to check yes. They want you to double check before you delete it, submit, and now that is gone. So if I go back to my incomplete listings, it's not there. So that was a real quick lesson here on how to input a listing. Remember, you can do it from the tax or an old listing, and either way will help you get a head start, but double check all your fields, especially the city. All right, hope you all have a great day, great weekend. Take care.